All right, today we're diving into something pretty huge, especially if you're an experienced bridge engineer in India. WSP is on a major hiring spree for its critical infrastructure teams. So if you've ever dreamed of putting your name on some truly landmarked projects, you're going to want to stick around for this.
Let's just start with the big question, right? WSP is hunting for the talent that will literally design the next generation of India's most iconic bridges and highways. This is so much more than just another job. It's a real shot at building a legacy. So, are you ready for that kind of challenge?
So here's the deal. WSP, one of the biggest names in engineering on the planet, is kicking off a massive recruitment drive all across India. They're seriously staffing up their teams to tackle the country's most critical infrastructure projects. We're talking about the major highways, the complex flyovers, and the bridge systems that will define how people move for decades to come. Okay, so you're interested. How do you actually get your foot in the door? Well, WSP is holding a huge hiring event, and honestly, this is your golden opportunity to connect directly with the people making the decisions. All right, you might want to grab a pen for this. Mark your calendars for April 23rd and 24th, 2026. They're hosting this event in 3 major hubs: Bengaluru, Noida, and Mumbai. But here's the best part. If you can't make it in person, you can join virtually. So really, there's no excuse to miss out, no matter where you are. Now, let's talk about the jobs themselves. WSP has neatly broken down all the openings into 3 main categories, making it super easy to see where you might fit in. We've got senior leadership, core engineering, and specialized BIM roles. Kicking things off at the very top, we have the senior leadership positions. They're looking for 2 team leaders and 2 technical leads. And for these, you'll need over 16 years of solid experience. They also have 2 spots for an associate technical director, which requires 14+ years. You know, these are the folks who will be steering the ship and making those crucial project decisions. Next up, we have the core engineering roles. Think of this as the real engine room of the bridge design team. There are a ton of openings here. 8 for senior engineers with at least 6 years of experience, another 8 for principal engineers with 12+ years, and 4 associate positions for those with over 14 years in the field. This is where all the deep design and heavy analysis gets done. Now, this next category, this really tells you where the industry is heading. There's a huge emphasis on BIM, that's Building Information Modeling, and other digital skills, with a specific focus on Tekla expertise. They're hiring across the board, from BIM modelers all the way up to principal-level specialists. It's a massive signal that if you're fluent in these digital workflows, you are in high demand. So, what does this chart tell us? Well, it paints a really clear picture of WSP's priorities. The biggest need, by far, is for core engineering roles, a whopping 20 openings. That's the bedrock of the team. But look what's right behind it. 11 spots for BIM and modeling. That's huge. It proves just how critical these digital skills have become. And then, you have 6 key senior leadership positions to tie it all together and guide the vision. Okay, so you've seen the roles. Maybe you've even spotted one with your name on it. But what do you actually need on your resume to get noticed? Let's break down the specific qualifications they're looking for. This is super important, so listen up. The educational requirements are split into 2 very distinct paths. For any of the design or core engineering positions, an M.Tech in structural engineering is a non-negotiable. For the BIM and modeling track, you'll need a diploma in civil engineering. So the key takeaway here is to make sure your education lines up perfectly with the role you're targeting. I just want to pause on this for a second. 16+ years. That's the level of experience WSP is looking for in its top-tier technical and leadership roles. This isn't just a number. It's a statement. It tells you they're not just hiring employees. They're looking for seasoned, expert professionals who can lead from day one. All right, so if you're taking all the boxes and a role sounds like it was made for you, what's next? Let's walk through the application process. And don't worry, they've made it really simple. Seriously, it could not be more straightforward. Just 2 simple steps. First, get that CV updated. Make sure it shines a spotlight on all your relevant bridge design or BIM experience. And second, just email it directly to the contacts at WSP. That's it. And here are the email addresses you'll need. You can send your CV to either Abhay Kumar, that's abha.kumar@wsp.com, or to Mansi Devindra, that's mansi.devindra@wsp.com. Go ahead and jot those down. So we kind of end right where we started. This is way more than a list of job openings. It's an invitation to be part of building legacy infrastructure projects. And the only question left to ask is, will you be on the team that builds tomorrow's landmarks?